effects of the cosmic deluge. Thousands of deaths due to the global pandemic and emergent fungal epidemic, along with the record numbers of natural disasters, have taken a huge toll on humanity's collective psyche, leading to increasing poverty, malnutrition, depression, and mental health issues. We have to understand for ourselves what caused this. How could we have avoided this, and what is the solution? In this segment, let us understand the scientific and statistical understanding on Devi Parashakti's revelation on the cause and solution of the Pralaya, the deluge. All of us know the current status of the world right now. Totally, right now there are 3.8 million deaths from the coronavirus. And the total number of confirmed cases is 175.9 million. The worst affected countries being US, India, and Brazil. In India, if we see, the number of cases is above 290,000. The number of deaths is 374,304. And the number of falling into poverty since 2020 is a whopping 75 million people. Here we have a huge amount of statistical analysis and reports where we're seeing that India is the sixth most depressed country. 6.5% of the population is suffering from some form of mental illness. Also, with a suicide rate of 10.9 for every 1 lakh people. Suicide is one of the biggest causes of deaths in the age group 15 to 24. And the average suicide rate in India is 10.9 for every 1 lakh people, or 100,000 people. In the news, in the media, everywhere, we are seeing how also natural disasters have hit in India and across the world. And so many different cyclones, floods have devastated the homes and literally wrecked villages apart, where people are suffering from just not even able to have food for themselves and shelter over their head. How could we have prevented this? Let us now understand from Devi Parashakti herself, revealed on the 31st of May 2021, about what she had revealed on the cosmic deluge.
வரை இந்தியா செல்ல வேண்டாமா என்று கேட்கின்றாய். நன்றாய் தெரிந்துகொள், சொல்வதை புரிந்துகொள். இந்த பெருநரகமான கிருமி போஜனம் இந்தியாவிற்குள் வரக்கூடாது என்பதற்காக 2020 பாரதம் முழுவதும் 12 ஜோதிர்லிங்கமும் பாத யாத்திரை செய்திடவே என் மகன் மூலமாய் திட்டமிட்டிருந்தேன். படுபாவிகள் ஓடத்தின் மாலுமியை ஊர்விட்டு துரத்தினார்கள். என்ன நடக்கிறதென்று பார். முறையாக கைலாய நாட்டின் தலைவனாக நிறை மரியாதையொடு நல் மதிப்பொடு என் நிஜாவதாரம் நித்யானந்தன் திருவடி மீண்டும் பாரதத்தில் பட்டு பாத யாத்திரை செய்த பிறகு மட்டுமே நீ அங்கு செல்ல வேண்டும். அதுவரை உன்னை காத்து செல்லாதே. ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
Yes, let's move on to the next slide, please. For this huge, now let's understand the translation of what Devi Parashakti revealed. For this huge Kirimi Bhojanam to come to India in 2020 itself, I had planned to do Padayatra throughout India and the 12 Jyotirlingas through my son Swamiji. They chase the captain out of the ship of the country and see what is going to happen. Now, let us see what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revealed as a vision for the Padayatra in 2017.
Want to do 1 year Padayatra specially for this purpose in 2020. 2020, planning for a full year, I'm going to walk from Rameshwaram to Amarnath. 1 year with 10,000 people, just walking all over India to spend time with people. 2020, there will not be any program other than Padayatra and just spending time with people. Just walking. Of course, 10,000 people will be walking with me. Maybe 200 vehicles to carry our food and all the other items, transportation. Enjoying the river banks, forests, and time with nature. 10,000 people manifesting powers, walking from village to village. What do you think will happen? The scene of Buddhism spreading will be repeated now. How the Buddhism spread? 10,000 monks, 10,000 people. The whole village will be manifesting powers. Just want to enjoy India and let India enjoy me. So planning for next year Kumbh Mela 2019, next year January Kumbh Mela. Before that, all the Balalayam, everything. Balalayam is going to be like the same structure outside with one stone tower, gold coated. It will be something like a 40 to 50 feet tall stone tower and 5 Rajagopurams, which will be something like 120 feet. This will be the Balalayam. And after the Mulalayam is built, this Balalayam will serve as a Utsava Murti Sannidhi, where the Utsava Murtis will be worshipped and where the Archanas. See, in the main temple, there will not be any Archana or anything, because just for Darshan itself, there will not be time. Like Tirupati, you can only have Darshan and Arti, the camp for Arti. No other worship is allowed in the main temple. Because 12 Abhishekam is going to happen, 12 Kala Abhishekams. So continuously the rituals will be going on. People can have only darshan. They will not be able to involve themselves in any ritual. Other than darshan, nothing else will be allowed. So all the archana, all the other offerings, like people will offer the archanas and other, everything will be done to the Utsava Murti, which will be kept in the Balalayam, the present Balalayam, present structure. So people can spend time here. That will be more like a main darshan. This will be like energy darshan, where you can give letter, get response. So by next year, the Balalayam will be ready. So 2019 full year, I will be conducting the programs and everything. 2020 will be the one full year Padayatra, walking. From next year, Jayanti, means 2019's Jayanti to 2020's Jayanti. Full year, Jayanti to Jayanti will be Padayatra. Before that, we will make 10,000 people power manifestors. It will be sannyasi, brahmachari, grihastha, all put together. 10,000 people will be walking. What a scene it will be. I think that is the only way the revival of Sanatana Hindu Dharma can be done. I need to get into the ground where people can see me where they are living. I can't be waiting for people to come where I am living. Now I am sitting in one place to prepare these 10,000 people and make the science completely user-friendly. For that only I am sitting and working. So I have given 2 years for me now, 2018 and 2019. So 2020, before that 10,000 people will be ready to walk with me, manifesting powers. We will literally solve every person's problem in every village. The way we are walking, the route we are taking, physical healing or mental healing, or it's a too big visualization. How will you visualize? What will happen if 10,000 power manifestors enter into a village and ask people, tell me your problem now, come on, let's sort it out. Understand, 1,200 years before in Tiruvannamalai temple carvings, how the baby will be in the womb in 2nd month, 3rd month, all that is detailed way carved, it is there. Which scanning machine was there in those days other than the third eye? Very detailed carvings are there. Even Srirangam temple, the whole carving is there. Srirangam temple gives a week by week the whole picture of male baby and female baby. Any of you have seen that? Srirangam Rangaraja Mandapam, it very clearly portrays. There will be one Rangaranga Gopuram. In that next to Rangaranga Gopuram, there is a Rangaraja Mandapam. We have already collected some chunk of 80-90 to be displayed in this Balalayam. Work is going on all of that. We are also going to tell you the science of temple building story as per Agama and as per practical village level, ground level, all that. In those days, 2000 years before, when this Cambodia and all these civilizations were flourishing, two community from India moved. One is agriculture community, another one is business community. These two community only traveled and installed civilization. Of course, kings went, that is different. But the common civilian, these two community only went. So Nagarattar and Saivavelalar. Saivavelalar agriculture community, Nagarattar business community. So wherever, see, when they go in the ship, the Saivavelars, they will carry that veil for their protection. Once, if they reach the other side safely, they will just put the veil and start a temple. That is why all the temple outside the India, started by Saivavelala, there will be only veil as a Pradhana Murti. Pattumalai Murugan Goil, Tannimalai Murugan Goil, Gedaram Murugan Goil, Nallur Murugan Govil, Sannidhiyan Sannidhi Murugan Goil, all these temple. The main deity will be only veil. It will not be deity. Because they cannot carry that heavy deity in the ship. It will only be the veil. And all the temples started by Nagarattar will be Kavadi. Because they will carry everything in the form of Kavadi. So the moment they reach the other shore, they will worship the Kavadi and the screen cloth covered by Kavadi. Kadirgaman, Darachila, Murugan. All the major temples started by Nagarattar. The Kavadi and the screen only will be the deity. All the temples started by Saivavelalar, only the veil will be the deity. So this is the way the temple started. This temple planting and temple spreading. We are going to tell you all this history also as like a exhibition when you come next time to see our temple. There's a lot of juicy information on history of temple building. That's going to be one of my big contribution also, this temple building science. I'll be known for common mass for my Gurukul and temple. Common mass will never understand all this Vidyapadam and life is continuous rhythm, Sami Onnada, all that. They will remember me only as the Gurukul kids do all magic. That magic Gurukul and big temples. The Swamiji who builds big temples. That's why they will remember. Bhaktan Solanum Payyan Pandiyanume இத பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கானுன்னா நாம என்ன வேலை பண்ணி ஆவணும்? இல்ல நாமே வந்து போனோம்னு மறந்துடுவானுங்க மனுஷ பசங்க. All these are paribhasha. Paribhasha means, these horse brokers will have their own language. Pari means horse. Paribhasha means horse brokers all over the world, any country. The horse brokers will have their own language to do the negotiation. That is why that word paribhasha got evolved. Even now in Indian villages, these cow brokers and they will have their own language. You can't understand. You will be standing there right in front of you, they will finish the negotiation. And which you can't understand.
Yes, let's move on to the next slide. Yes, since the age of just 10 years, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been enriching and preparing the whole world for the Padayatra to save them from this Pralaya. And here, from that age, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been enriching, initiating the masses in living enlightenment through his powerful discourses, initiations, and darshans, and so much more. And we can see all of the slides here. The next slide, please, Mo. Yes. We can see all of the different photographs, the various different occasions, and the number of people, the lakhs of people in the crowd following and listening deeply to the avatar, following the avatar on these beautiful celebratory Padayatras. In each city, in each place, giving super conscious breakthrough to each and every one whom the avatar had met, whom had come from far and wide to have and receive his blessings. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism established and successfully established the macrocosmic Hindu civilizational nation of Kailasa. And however, the anti-Hindu elements have ultimately made it impossible to do that re-energizing process in 2020 by driving SPH, by driving the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism out of India because of the huge amount of Holocaust and persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Now, how is it possible to solve this? What can we do? Devi Parashakti, out of her utmost generosity, compassion, revealed to us the solution itself.
வரை இந்தியா செல்ல வேண்டாமா என்று கேட்கின்றாய். நன்றாய் தெரிந்துகொள், சொல்வதை புரிந்துகொள். இந்த பெருநரகமான கிருமி போஜனம் இந்தியாவிற்குள் வரக்கூடாது என்பதற்காக 2020 பாரதம் முழுவதும் 12 ஜோதிர்லிங்கமும் பாத யாத்திரை செய்திடவே என் மகன் மூலமாய் திட்டமிட்டிருந்தேன். படுபாவிகள் ஓடத்தின் மாலுமியை ஊர்விட்டு துரத்தினார்கள். என்ன நடக்கிறதென்று பார். முறையாக அகிலாய நாட்டின் தலைவனாக நிறை மரியாதையோடு நல் மதிப்பொடு என் நிஜாவதாரம் நித்யானந்தன் திருவடி மீண்டும் பாரதத்தில் பட்டு பாத யாத்திரை செய்த பிறகு மட்டுமே நீ அங்கு செல்ல வேண்டும். அதுவரை உனை காத்து செல்லாதே. ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
The next slide, please. As we look around us, what we see is what the great rishis of the Vedic civilization forewarned each and every one of us of the Kali Yuga. In the Kurma Purana, the sage Vyasa echoes the rishis' declaration how the Kali Yuga is the worst of the 4 yugas, where man will be his worst enemy. And here we have the Shastra Pramana. We can go on to the next slide. In the English translation, it says, this Kali Yuga is the worst of the 4 yugas or ages in all of the worlds. People are sinful and forgetful, and the dharma of the 4 varnas and 4 ashramas. In fact, men are so sinful that no prescribed penance atones for their great sins. The only place which is free from such sins is the great city of Varanasi, the Mahapuri. The next slide, please. Yes. And it also says in the Kurma Puranam, the Lord Rudra, Paramashiva himself, is the avatar of Kali Yuga. In the translation of this verse says, Brahma is the presiding deity, divinity or devata of the Krita Yuga. In the Treta Yuga, Bhagavan Ravi is in which appeared Sri Rama, and in Dwapar Yuga is the presiding deity Vishnu, and in the Kali Yuga, the current age, the presiding divinity, the avatar is Rudra, the Lord Maheshwara and Paramashiva. And as we all celebrate on the 2nd of January 1978, out of his deepest compassion to protect humanity, Paramashiva, Lord Maheshwara, descended into the human form in the Nijavatara of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. We can go on to the next slide, Ma. The avatar's advent onto planet Earth was ultimately to protect the world from the great cosmic deluge and to move the world to the new age, the Satya Yuga. Let us now watch Devi Parashakti's revelation on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, moving the current age, the Kali Yuga, to the Satya Yuga.
ஓம் ஓம் ஓம். உலக மக்களே கேளுங்கள். கலி முற்றி கலி கழிந்து புதுயுகம் சத்தியயுகம் புறப்பட வேண்டிய காலம் வந்ததனால் வந்திருக்கின்றது இந்த பெரும் பிரளயம். கவலை வேண்டாம் மக்களே. நித்யானந்தன் வடிவம் தாங்கி நாமே இங்கு வந்திருக்கின்றோம். நித்திய யுகம் செய்வோம், நித்திய யுகம் சத்தியயுகமாய் மலரும் இங்கு. ஆனந்தமாக இருங்கள்.
Yes, the next slide, please. The translation of Devi's revelation was, people of the world, listen, the world has matured over and over, and it is time for the Satya Yuga. This great Pralaya has come. Don't worry, people. In the form of Nithyananda, I myself have come here. I will make Nitya Yuga. Nitya Yuga will blossom as Satya Yuga. Be blissful. For this huge hell, the Pralaya, the Kirmi Bhojanam, not to come to India, in 2020, I had planned to do Padayatra throughout India in 20 Jyotirlingas through my son, Swamiji. And in order to prepare for this, the avatar began the Padayatra at the mere age of 10 years old. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism began enriching people, one person at a time, with the truths from the sacred scriptures and the secrets for enlightened living. Even as the SPH was 14 and 15, all of his classmates, all of the people around him recalled the yatras that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism led from his birthplace to his birthplace. And they say that it was such an unforgettable experience with him. And here we have the photographs of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism with some of his classmates and friends as they did the Alankaram for Arunai Nayaki Amman in their hometown of Tiruvannamalai. When the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was around 19 years of age, all his fellow monks of the Ramakrishna mission recall the yatra where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism led them from Chennai, Tamil Nadu to Tiruvannamalai, his birthplace, and they all recall this as an unforgettable pilgrimage trip experience. And here is one photograph from that experience of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and all of the monks from the Ramakrishna mission when the avatar was just 19 years of age. The SPH continued walking the length and breadth of India, reaching more and more people and preparing each and every one until the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded the international mission, Nithyananda Sangha, to revive Kailasa internationally on the 31st of December, 1999. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism established Kailasa in Tiruchungod, Tamil Nadu on the 14th of April, 2001. In 2003, the avatar continued his Vijaya Yatra all over the world to enrich people from all backgrounds. Here we have a couple of photos showing the tours that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism went on. With the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's intensity and dedication for the people, even in crowds of thousands who do not know English, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's words and voice resonated deeply, and his presence moved each and every single one to tears of bliss. In 2004, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism led his disciples on the first Himalaya Yatra, where he was going to temples, delivering satsangs and initiating each and every one of the yatris into super conscious breakthrough. Subsequently, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism personally organized yatras yearly and guided individual souls not just to spiritual sites, but supernal spiritual realms. In 2006, the Padayatras were taken to the next level with the Kodikan Ratha Yatra, with crores of people participating and impacted by Nithyanandeshwara and Nithyanandeshwari deities who were traveling city to city led by the avatar, and thousands of people who are celebrating, dancing in the streets of the consecration of the deities Nithyanandeshwara and Nithyanandeshwari. We now have a brief video of the Kodikan Ratha Yatra from 2006. Let's now enjoy that video of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism leading the Kodikan Ratha Yatra.
Anandam
Yes, we'll keep going. The Kodikan Ratha Yatra culminated with the consecration of the inauguration of the Garva Mandir, the Sanctum Sanctorum of the Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva and Nithyanandeshwari Parashakti and the Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Swayambhu Linga at Adi Kailasa Sarvagnapitam in Bengaluru, Adinam. Here you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism consecrating the Nithyanandeshwara Swayambhu Linga in Adi Kailash. The deities were energized as Archavatars to radiate the energy of Paramashiva and Parashakti, to create the Adi Kailasa Sarvagnapitam as a ship and to save humanity from the upcoming Pralaya. And here we see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism created the spiritual energy centers in India as safe havens during the Great Deluge. Kailasa in Tiruchengod, Adi Kailasa Sarvagnapitam, and Kailasa in Hyderabad, and so many more. We'll go on to the next slides. And in 2008, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism created and energized the Nithyananda Vaidya Sarovar, the Ananda Linga, which would protect anyone who bathes in its water from the deadly coronavirus.
जनमस्सहस्राक्षाय च चतुर्धन्वने जनमो गिरिशाय रजिविष्टाय जनमो वीरुत्तमाय च सुमते जनमो स्रस्वाय च वामनाय जनमो बृहते च वर्षीयते जनमो वृद्धाय च संवृद्धने जनमो अग्र्याय च प्रथमाय जनम आशवे च जिराय जनम शीघ्रियाय च शीघ्राय च नम ऊर्म्याय च वस्वन्याय च नम स्रोतस्याय च दीप्याय च नमो ज्येष्ठाय च कनिष्ठाय च नमः पूर्वजाय च परजाय च नमो मध्यमाय च प्रगल्भाय च नमो च गण्याय च बुद्ध्याय च नमस्तोभ्याय च प्रतिसर्याय च नमो याम्याय च क्षेम्याय च नम उर्वर्याय च खल्याय च नमः श्वोप्याय च अवसान्याय च नमो वन्याय च कक्ष्याय च नमः श्रवाय च प्रतिश्रवाय च नमः आशुषेणाय च आशुरथाय च नमः शूराय च अवभिन्दते च नमो वर्मिणे च वरुथिने च नमो बिल्मिने च कवचिने च नमः श्रुताय च श्रुतसेनाय च नमो दुन्दुभ्याय च हनन्याय च नमो धृष्णवे च प्रवृषाय च नमो दूताय च प्रहिताय च नमो निषङ्गिने च सुधिमते च नमस्तीक्ष्णे च इधिने च नमस्कायुधाय च सुधन्वने च नमस्कृत्याय च पथ्याय च नमः काट्याय च नीप्याय च नमः सूप्याय च सरस्याय च नमो नाद्याय च वैशन्ताय च नमः कूप्याय च भट्याय च नमो वर्ष्याय च नमो मेघ्याय च विद्युत्याय च नमः ईर्ध्याय च तप्याय च नमो वात्याय च रेश्म्याय च नमो वास्तव्याय च वास्तुपाय च ओम नमः सोमाय च रुद्राय च नमः ताम्राय च अरुणाय च नमः शृंगाय च वशुपतये च नमः.
Yes, and in 2009, the Avatar held the Kodikan Ratha Yatra and garnered the international attention, creating a movement where lakhs of Hindus were once again embracing Hinduism and celebrating Hinduism. So we'll watch this brief video of the Padayatra from Pattanam to Salem.
போல நின்பதம் கண்ட என் மனோ நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்யனே நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்யனே நின்முகம் நீனைந்து இங்கு நிர்மலமாகவே ஆனதே இதய சக்கரம் அனகதமும் இனிமையோடு திறந்ததே நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்யனே நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்யனே. மற்றவர் கண்டு மறைகள் எல்லாம் கழன்று விசுத்தி அதுவும் அசுத்தியா.
So actually those deities that you saw in the video are actually now consecrated as Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva and Nithyanandeshwari Parashakti in the Los Angeles Nithyanandeshwara Hindu temple in Los Angeles. Like this, wherever the avatar's feet had graced the planet Earth, there the seeds of super consciousness have been sown. With over 1,000 Kailasas, satsang centers, ecosystems, and Sarvagnapitas enriching 1 billion people worldwide, the avatar is the last hope for humanity to have superconscious breakthrough. Here we see Kailasa in Erode and all of the various Kailasas the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism established. We can go through the next couple of slides and see for ourselves the amount of work the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism did. Kailasa in Columbus, Ohio. The next slide, please. And how it was established, consecrated by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself. And you can see Kailasa in Los Angeles from 2007. Kailasa in Los Angeles being established as a temple, and Kailasa in San Jose in the United States, established in 2009. And you can see all the rituals. Kailasa in Seattle, USA, established in 2008. Kailasa in Houston. And here you can see some of the activities also going on. Kailasa in Charlotte. Kailasa in New York. Kailasa in Washington, D.C. Kailasa in Toronto, Canada. Kailasa in Oklahoma City, USA. And Kailasa in Phoenix. Kailasa in St. Louis, Missouri. Kailasa in Oman. In Dubai. London. Scotland. Netherlands, Slovakia, Belgium, Luxembourg, Austria, Germany, Italy, France, Switzerland, Mauritius, South Africa, Salem, in Hosur, Pattanam, Varanasi, Rajapalayam, Hyderabad, Gujarat, Tiruvanmayur, Alangalum, Chennai, in Avadi, Chennai, Melbourne, Australia, in New Zealand, Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, in Guadeloupe. To ensure humanity survives the upcoming Pralaya, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism created the sovereign order of Kailasa with thousands of sannyasis with no discrimination against caste, creed, or religion. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism initiated thousands into Nithyananda spiritual healing, who are actively healing millions across the world. With 2,500 plus centers and Paduka mandirs and home temples, which operate as de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa. The avatar inspired so many millions to reclaim their Hindu identity and freedom. Thousands of yatras were conducted by the Hindu diaspora worldwide, honoring the hard work of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the revival of Kailasa, silently preparing each and every one for what was to come. In 2017, devotees of Malaysia planned a Padayatra and executed it successfully with thousands who participated with the dying Hindu population in Malaysia reinvigorated. And for every major Hindu festival, devotees from all over the world do Padayatra out of service and sincere devotion and love for the avatar. We see how the global achievements and services include 1 billion e-citizens, 26 years of humanitarian services, and 1 billion meals served, free, nutritious meals served and continuing to be served. And also the world's largest Hindu university established in the US, Canada, UK, Slovakia, Switzerland, and France, and a diverse global population in 847 cities, 196 countries, and 6 continents. Kailasa is today the world's greatest Hindu digital nation with over 1 billion views on all the websites, social media platforms, and online databases and online applications. And as you can see, the number of e-citizens is more than 120 countries, with some of the most successful communities in the world. The global initiatives that Kailasa takes up is holistic health, education, and development of human potential, sharing the practical applications of Hinduism, Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and its science of enlightenment, through which we have made several breakthroughs. And we see the United Nations with over 100 humanitarian charitable initiatives, and spearheaded by the Sovereign Religious Order of Kailasa, a strong diplomatic network through the 73 orders of Sovereign Order of Kailasa. The next slide, please. And here we have the Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations movement with 26 years of achievements in global peace, education and children, equality and environment, and free education offered in 150 plus countries, where the Nithyananda Hindu University is the world's largest Hindu university, with 487 extended campuses in 150 plus countries, free education offered to 20 million children and youth, and more than 7,000 courses. And 1 billion free meals served and continuing to serve. Kailasa has the vision of no hungry home and has initiated multiple services, including annadans, organic agriculture, to make sure that no person is ever hungry. We have offered 1 billion free meals and continuing to serve. Kailasa offers free food in 197 countries, as you can see here. And the next slide, please. And not only that, Kailasa has availed free medical services for millions of people, which include free medical camps, 108 kriyas, spiritual techniques offered for free and for care and cure of various disorders and diseases. The End Pregnancy, a program launched to help women in safe, painless pregnancy, and spiritual healing services offered in more than 1,008 Kailasas across the globe. And here we have a summary of also the number of scriptural references mapped to yogic techniques and the Guinness World Records, as well as 6,000 plus courses on yoga and peace and health. Also, in the revival of the ancient sciences of Hinduism, Kailasa Sacred Arts University has more than 4,000 Hindu deities, and which are now consecrated and worshipped in locations around the world. Here's a summary of the deities that have all been made by Kailasa, made inside the Kailasa campuses. 3,270 deities made of stone, 400 made of 5 metal, 100 made of marble, 15 made of traditionally made wooden chariots, 1,000 Hindu vessels and puja items, and so much more. And Kailasa is also the home to the world's largest Hindu library. We can go on to the next slide, please. With the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's hard work in the last 26 years, inspiring people one person at a time, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism announced the plan to traverse India once again on foot from Kanyakumari to Kashmir and re-energize the Jyotirlingas to protect India from the Pralaya. In 2018, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism began this re-energizing process, and he began going to all of the different temples in earnest to start the intense spiritual process. While the Avatar was working to protect India from the destruction, the anti-Hindu militant forces tried their best to halt the Avatar's mission since the year 2001. And after years of pouring energy into making the only ship that would save humanity, the captain was driven out of the ship. Militant anti-Hindu forces followed him for 2 decades, instigating the deadliest and brutal attacks against the sole Hindu leader. And since 2009, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has survived over 70 assassination attempts, incessant lawfare, and the repeated attacks against him and his disciples. With the media entirely owned by the anti-Hindu nexus, truth never had the chance to come out. 14,000 hours of hate speech flooded the internet and were broadcasted into the media to incite hatred and to ultimately justify the assassination attempts of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Fabricated false cases were filed against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to meekly justify his illegal case and illegal arrest and execute the state-sponsored plan to eliminate the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And in 2018, the Avatar was forced to leave India after a nearly fatal assassination attempt. In his absence, India and Indians are suffering the repercussions. The next slide, please. In the Puranic age, the whole kingdom of Ayodhya suffered with the economic meltdown, the death of cattle and crops, and the inconsolable depression when Lord Rama left for 14 years of exile. And in the same way, the economy of India fell even just 2 months after the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism left. And today, India is facing the brutal attacks of the pandemic with no end in sight. Despite being driven out of the country, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continues to be the last hope for humanity and for India. Within the last 1 year, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has expanded the services of Kailasa to millions more in India. And here you're seeing a couple of the pictures of the Kailasa's multi-layer quarantine and the activities going on, including Annadan, organic agriculture to feed all of the residents of the COVID care centers who are in Kailasas across India. The next slide, please. And with back-to-back programs, darshans, satsangs, the avatar has literally made humanity physically, mentally, and psychologically sail through this pralaya. And when the whole world has closed its doors to India, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism opened the Kailasa campuses for Indians in desperate need of protection with the multi-layer quarantine. Here we can see some of the supplies, the different activities going on to provide for the Kailasa COVID care centers. And here we have a Shastra Pramana from the Guru Gita. Yes, the next slide, please. And each and every one of us must realize that the Pralaya will end only when the divine feet walk on the soil of India once again. This is what decision makers must realize, and what we must realize, that the Pralaya will end in India once the divine feet walk on its soil once again. And the media must realize it. Every citizen must realize this. And it's in our hands to make this happen. With this, we'll come to a conclusion to this segment in today's program. We'll move on to the next segments after a very quick break.
Ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity. Withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you, aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you, and make you interested in enlightenment time. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost. What I mean by the word Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is Kailasa. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model community. Kailasa, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Pitas all over the world. All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth. Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem. I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you. You will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet. We all have to coexist together. We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world
Yes, I request the NTV volunteer to project the slides for the offerings. Yes, let's start. Now we're going to enter into the session where we'll be understanding the offerings to Devi Parashakti. Offering is a gift, giving of divine gift of pure love, devotion, and oneness, and it consists of two parts, giving and accepting. Only when the divine accepts what one offers, the offering becomes complete. Offering is not made out of any fear or greed. When an avatar lands, the offerings are purely as a part of a grand lila played out for the only purpose of enlightenment. The next slide, please. Yes, I'll now chant the Dhyana Shloka. Induni vabeda karavakyanayam syat pankajavaryabhaya japakshayaraya yuktam angahimabhushena vichitravasanam syat tungamukato jvala manonvani swarupam. The next slide, please. Now I'll be chanting the English translation. Moon-like face holding the Vedas on hand, fire in eyes with lotus flower gracing the blessing hands, one hand with the Japamala, beautifully decorated with jeweled ornaments in wonderful clothes and shining being crown. Her name is Manonmani. And now the Dhyana Shloka once again. Dhyaye devim trinetram shashibhavadanam vedahastam dadanam savye padmam varadamapare chabhayam chakshamalam divyerabaranaiverbhushitatanum brahmabhidi Pujitam Devimeva Manonmanim Pratidinam Kamartadhyatrim Shubham. Now the English translation. I meditate on Devi with three eyes glowing like a moon and holding the Vedas, lotus and gracing with the blessing hands. She is wearing beautiful ornaments and she is worshipped by Brahma and other many gods and showers auspicious boons for all actions every day. Now we'll understand the significance of the divine element of gold. Here it says the reference from the Atharva Veda. The translation goes, triply born by his birth in this gold, from the atoms of Agni is one, it becomes dearest to Agni. One fell away from the Soma when it was heard. One they call the seed of virtuous and powerful Apa, the water molecules. Let that triple gold be for your long life. Gold is a divine element. It purifies anything it touches. It is an element of spiritual significance and great spiritual power of healing and enlightening. The vibration of gold has the power to infuse sattva energy and positive thought currents in anyone who wears and anyone who sees the operates in its vicinity. Gold is present in all the scriptures, the Agamas, Vedas, Shrutis, Smritis, Itihasas, and Puranas. In all the Hindu scriptures, it is abundant that all gold is auspicious and purest metal which purifies the very being. In the Hindu civilization, everything was built in gold. Rituals fees were even offered in gold bricks. When one has to be saved from life-threatening illnesses, gold was offered as a ritual fee. Gold was in abundance and used for weighing equivalent amounts of commodities, including cows. Kingdoms were built with huge doors of gold, and the streets would have huge columns, huge archways made of gold, and horses and cows were also dressed in gold. The Hindu civilization thrived on the banks of the rivers of gold. It was called Hiranyamaya, in the Rig Veda, and the river Saraswati was called the Hiranyavartani in the Atharva Veda. Gold is the supreme element from offerings to the ones you love and revere, and temples are constructed and paved in gold, and deities are made in gold and decked and adorned in gold, because it preserves the enlightenment energy for thousands of years. It lasts forever. Now let's begin understanding the offerings that you can make today to Devi Parashakti herself. We'll now chant the pramana for the E-Hundi offering, the first offering. Bhakti Priya, Bhakti Gamya, Bhakti Vashya, Bhayapaha, Shambhavi Sharadaradhya, Sharvani Sharmadayini. Devi is fond of true devotion and is realized through true devotion. She can be won over through true devotion, and she removes all fears. If there is any fear in the minds of a devotee, Devi is sure to remove that fear. It is stated that Devi likes to be worshipped in autumn, and here it is meant that autumn of our lives, when thoughts turn to more and more inwards, the role of the divine is known and understood clearly. The need for Devi worship becomes stronger. Shambhavi, the consort of Lord Shiva, and Sharadharadhya means the worshipped by Sharada, and Sharvani means the wife of Lord Shiva. Linga Purana says that Lord Shiva is called Sharva in his earth form. Sharmadayini means Devi who bestows happiness on devotees. You can offer gratitude and devotion to Devi Parashakti by offering your Kanika, and name shall be chanted out during the puja to Devi. Now, next is the Sankalpa chanting. In this, the pramana is from the Devi Mahatmyam from chapter 12, verse 34, which I'll be chanting the English translation. The goddess enchants this universe, and she herself gives birth to this universe. That goddess, being prayed without interest in anything, gives the knowledge that can lead to salvation and gives wealth in the materialistic sense. This offering of the Sankalpa chanting, or the conscious resolution, blesses the person offering with all the fruition of desires and everything that he wishes for. In the Lalita Sahasranama, verse 731, Devi is described as Nama Parayana Prita, she who likes the repetition of various names. This is the offering of 1008 names of Devi Parashakti, and it's a very special and unique archana offered to the Mahameru of Devi Parashakti. You can offer a gold coin inscribed with each of the 1008 names and receive the blessings to the Ananta Kalyana Gunas, and have the Ananta Kalyana Gunas, all the divine qualities of Devi Parashakti. So this offering is available for 75 USD, for 151 USD, or 251 USD, as much as you are comfortable with here. And you can make this offering at tiny.cc/Devi offerings. Now, the next offering is the Mukta Anguti, the finger ring with a pura, which is 251 or 501 or 750 USD. I'll now chant the pramana. Muktaharanala satkirita ruchiram purnendu vaktram pavam Shinjanna pura kinkini manidaram padma prabhabasuram Sarvabhita palapradam girisutam vani rama sevitam Meenakshim pranatosmi santatamaham karunyavaram nidhim. And the English translation. I bow down to the goddess Meenakshi, whose crown has garlands of pearls and face is shining like the full moon, who wears anklets that are studded with gemstones and has small bells, who is shining like the splendor of lotus, who grants all the wishes, the daughter of the mountain, who is worshipped by goddess Vani and Rama. I remain ever bowing to goddess Meenakshi, the ocean of compassion. The Mukta Anguti offering is available for $251, $501, or $750. And you can offer the pearl finger ring and receive the blessings to be showered by her compassion and pure love in all the business endeavors. Once again, if you want to make your payment right now, you can go to tiny.cc/Devi offerings. Now, the Swarna Padma Pushpa is the next offering. The cost is $600 and the Padma Pushpa, the golden lotus, has many references in all the different scriptures on how it is most auspicious to give. In the Kamikagama, it is described that all the kalashas should be wound with a suitable thread and covered with new cloth, and they should be adorned with a lotus flower made of gold. Now, in the Vedic tradition, there are hundreds of scriptural references for the significance of the lotus flower. And in all the worship, everything, even in the consecration of deities, the lotus flower is used for all of its parts to offer to the deities and the divine. The lotus is thus considered a divine flower. In Shakti of Paramashiva is also called a lotus, and the base of the Paramashiva linga is also a lotus. The disciple of Paramashiva is also considered a lotus about to bloom. You can offer the golden lotus in any size you wish, and to be blessed to have the state, space, and powers and being of Devi in your inner space amidst every adverse situation in your life. The Swarnamati, the gold toe ring, is the next offering, and you can offer this for $750. The pramana I will now chant. Nakadidita samchana namajana tamoguna padadvyaya prabha jala prakarta saroruha. You whose brightness from toenails destroy the darkness of ignorance from the minds of your devotees who prostrate at your feet, you whose brightness from your 2 feet overpowers that of the lotus flower. The next slide, please. Offer the toe ring to Devi, and it will adorn the sacred feet of Devi Parashakti, and you'll always be in constant gratitude for receiving her blessings even in the most difficult aspects of our life. Yes, and in the Lalita Sahasranamam, once again, Devi is described as Shuddha Sarabhi Varshini, meaning she who makes the nectar flow from all our nerves, from the Sahasrara Chakra, who gives a very pleasant experience of the ultimate. The Mount Tika represents the nectar flowing from the Sahasrara Chakra, which is fully opened, and this is also available for $750. You can offer this Mangtika to Devi and receive the blessings for achieving the blissful state of overflowing gratitude and the space of complete completion to Devi Parashakti. The next offering is the Pratyakshapada Puja. Once again, we're chanting from the Saundarya Lahari, which states that the nails that have been sharpened by constantly being touched by the crowns of celestial beings who always prostrate before Devi. Tamoguna is darkness, and in this stotram, tamas is indicative of ignorance in the minds of devotees by constantly prostrating before Devi. Their ignorance is removed and they attain knowledge. Offering the Pratyakshapada Puja blesses the Yajaman with all the auspiciousness and blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The next slide, please. There's also the Vastra Seva, which is also available for anyone to offer. And offering the Vastra Seva blesses the Yajaman with the auspiciousness and blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And that comes to the conclusion of all of the different offerings that you can do for Devi Parashakti. Let's now take a look at a summary of all of the offerings. So here you can see we have the Ihundi offering, the Sankalpa chanting, the Devi Sahasranama Kasu, the Mukta Anguti, Swarna Padma Pushpa, the Swarna Metti, the Swarna Mangtika, the Pratyakshapada Puja, and the Vastra Seva. So all of these are available for you to offer today. The next slide, please. And in summary, if you have listened to this today and you're interested in making your intention, in the registration form, there are actually two options which you can go ahead with. You can, if you are ready to offer today, you can make sure that you make a payment and your offering goes through. Or if you have the intention to offer the specific sevas, or if you just want to start manifesting, you can go and fill out the registration form. This applies if you are interested in the offering, if you need help manifesting the money for the offering, or if you need more details. So if you go to tiny.cc/bhavasamadhi, you will be able to make you will be able to fill the registration form. And if you want to make the online payment, you can go to tiny.cc/Devi offerings and tiny.cc/Sankalpa 2021. So now this comes to a conclusion to this segment. Now, let us, each and every one of us, get prepared for the next and further segments. We will be understanding in today's program. I hope each and every one of you already has shared or gone through the OHHCR link that is provided in the scroll below. The good news that we have been celebrating for the past few days in Kailasas across the world is that the UN has finally recognized the persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Finally, given this atrocious attacks against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism a voice. And as Hindus, each and every one of us should make sure that every one of us knows about the attacks that are happening against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the Holocaust that we have been through, and how we are surviving, and we are reviving Kailasa today to protect Hinduism from persistent destruction. And we're protecting the only hope for humanity, which is Kailasa, revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Make sure that you take a few minutes and you can go to the link provided where you can find the reports on the persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the indigenous women of Kailasa. In further segments, we will be describing to each and every one of you, at least asking for each and every one of you listening, as we share our stories during this decade-long persecution. And we request that all of you listen and share this program link, and also the link where the OHHCR, the Human Rights Commission of the UN, has recognized the persecution of the UN. Please use the hashtag provided in the scroll below and share the good news, share the link with all the Hindus that you know, anyone who might be interested in the ongoing efforts, the hard work of the revival of the only Hindu nation, Kailasa. We'll be right back with you after a very quick break. And
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that. Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity, withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you, aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment science. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home, without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost. What I mean by the word Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is Kailasa. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. model community. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Peethas all over the world. All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth. Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem. I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you. We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually, the spiritual prosperity. We happen to whole planet Earth. We all have to coexist together. We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Kailasians. I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that. Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper offer customized spiritual service, helping you to complete with your life negativity. Withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you, aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you, and make you interested in enlightenment time.
Nithyanandam, welcome back to all the viewers. Today, we are continuing the segments of the presentation of the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. As many of you know, we have been taking a few minutes every single day, a few segments, in order to share with each and every one of you the persecution that has happened against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the stories of each and every one of us victims who have been through violence at the hands of the anti-Hindu militant forces and who are pained, absolutely devastated in seeing how much the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has to go through after this. Over the last few days, we have been expressing, sharing the stories, the details of the stories that many of you may not know about, may not understand how the women of Kailasa have undergone so much. How we have, at the hands of anti-Hindu militants and so many other criminals, been victim to sexual assault, child abuse, assault, brutal rapes, and unfortunately, so much more. At this time today, we'd like to continue and present to each and every one of you more on the persecution that has happened against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has stood for the empowerment of women from the very beginning of the revival of Kailasa, by reviving the Sannyasa Sampradaya for females, by reviving the Rudrakanya Sampradaya, and so many women-based lineages, including